Good YouTube. Welcome back to another video with me, Miss V. And today what I want to talk about is I want to just talk about some basic geometric definitions that you guys should know. A lot of times we touch upon these in our geometry class, kind of assuming that y'all know them, but I just want to make sure that you guys actually know all of these basic geometric definitions. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So today we are talking about basic, my pen came out super thick, basic geometry terms. Okay, and when I say basic, I don't necessarily mean easy. I just mean these are terms that you use a lot in your geometry class and you need to know them in order to be successful. So let's go ahead and start off with one of the very first ones. So this right here is a line. Okay, so what I have on my screen right now, that is a line. Okay, a line in geometry is just an infinite collection of points. So what that means is I can draw as many points as I want on this line, and I can just keep drawing points, and it just goes on forever and ever in both directions. So it's a straight line, but the difference between a line and the next one that I'm going to talk about, which is a line segment, is that a line never ends. Okay, a line will keep on going forever and ever in both directions. Okay, a line segment has those 2 points at the end. These things right here, they're called end points. Okay, so a line segment has endpoints, whereas a line does not. Okay, a line segment ends somewhere. It's not going to keep going on forever and ever. It ends somewhere, but a line keeps on going forever and ever. Okay, a point, there's really no definition for a point in geometry. It's just an undefined place in space. There's no official definition for point, and this is just in any geometry course. Even if you take a college geometry course, it's one of the undefined terms that you talk about in the beginning of the semester. So we have our line segment, we have endpoints. We also have something called a ray. Okay, and in order to make an angle, you need 2 of those. Okay, so a ray, on one side there's an endpoint. So on this side the ray ends, but on the other side, you see the arrow here indicating that it's a line. So a ray has an endpoint on one side, but then it just continues going on forever and ever on the other side. Okay, an angle, like I said, an angle has an endpoint, and there's 2 rays that are connected by that common endpoint. Okay, so an angle has 2 rays connected by a common endpoint, and then over here, let's pick another color. This right here has some kind of measurement. Okay, and an angle can be measured in either radians or degrees, but most commonly in geometry we use degrees. In pre-calculus you start to use radians a little bit more, but in geometry we usually measure an angle using degrees. So one of the common ones, we have a right angle. So let me draw a right angle for y'all. A right angle, and the difference between a right angle and the other angles, a right angle measures 90 degrees. Okay, so that angle that's inside of the angle that's formed by the 2 rays is a 90-degree angle. So that's a right angle. And acute angle is an angle that is smaller than 90 degrees, smaller than 90 degrees. And then an obtuse angle is an angle that's larger than 90 degrees. Okay, so obtuse angle is larger than 90 degrees. And I know I'm kind of going through these kind of quickly, but you guys know, as always, you can pause the video and write these things down in your notes so you have a better understanding of them. These are just some really basic terms that we use in geometry. Okay, and finally we have something called a straight angle, and that line did not come out straight at all. Oh my goodness, don't judge me, y'all. There we go, that's a straight line. So we have something called a straight angle, and a straight angle measures exactly 180 degrees. Okay, so a straight angle, you could think of it as like putting two 90-degree angles one next to each other. So there's one here, this is one 90-degree angle, and there's another one here. Okay, the difference between a straight angle and a line, because I know that they look exactly the same. I can zoom out. So the line was up here. The difference between the straight angle and the line is that the straight angle, you're going to use it to basically help you answer some geometric questions, but you can also think of a line as measuring 180 degrees. Okay, so a line measures 180 degrees, so does a straight angle. We just called it a straight angle just to kind of differentiate between them. Okay. All right, so now different kinds of lines. So we have lines that never intersect. So I'm going to draw these two lines up here. So lines that never intersect, those are our parallel lines. So do not intersect, and they never intersect. Okay, so parallel lines, they're going to keep going forever and ever in both directions. They're never going to touch. Okay, and in my next video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the different properties of parallel lines, like relating to their slopes and all that kind of stuff. But in this one, I'm just doing basic terms. So we have parallel lines. We have these two lines that do intersect at this point right there. And when they intersect, they form a 90-degree angle. So these are called perpendicular lines. So when your two lines intersect and they form a 90-degree angle, those are called perpendicular lines. So intersect to form 90-degree angle, okay, or right angle. And then we have just regular intersecting lines. So intersecting lines, those are just two lines that intersect in some way. There doesn't necessarily have to be a specific angle that's formed. They just intersect, or they intersect means that they meet. So there's a point, they meet at some point. So in this case, this is where they meet. That's where they intersect. Those are intersecting lines, okay? And I'm pretty sure that's most of the basic geometric terms that you're going to need. Now, in my next couple of videos, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about different properties of angles, different kinds of angles that you'll see. And once I get to that point, then I'll give you guys some more terms to look at. But just to start off a geometry class, these are the basic terms that you will need to know, okay, or that you should know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, like this video so that I know to keep making more geometry videos for you guys. If you guys are interested in seeing some algebra videos, I'm going to go ahead and start doing those soon once I finish my geometry section. I just want to make sure that all of my geometry babies are covered and good to go for this school year. But thank you guys for watching. And again, I'm Ms. V. Welcome to my channel. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a good one.